showcase it to everybody that the all-purpose celiac flour works well to replace normal flour in everyday recipes.
So this is a regular recipe that we've converted to gluten-free. Very good.
Okay, so we're just going to beat the eggs up just slightly, just
Yep.
so they're together. Okay, we're going to add our oil. Half a cup of vegetable oil. We're using a teaspoon of vanilla.
This is the wet mixture.
This is the wet mixture, and I'm just going to bring it together. It's not very long at all. Okay. And then I'm going to add 1.5 cups of our all-purpose celiac flour.
Okay. And all-purpose celiac flour it's available directly through Kinnikinnick Foods, and there's lots of stores that also may carry it, so it's a great option.
It is. And then we're going to use 1 1/4 cups sugar. We're using granulated sugar. And 1.5 tablespoon of Kinactive baking powder.
Now I get a lot of questions on this. Is this aluminum free?
Yes, it is.
Very
and
good.
it's also corn free.
Oh, well that's good to know, because there is a lot more people that are experiencing corn allergies. Okay. So that's good to know.
And we just have 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
Just a little bit of flavor. Okay, so we're just going to mix this just until it's all together. Okay, and one last thing we're going to add to that is we're going to add some orange juice.
Orange juice.
So we're also going to use the zest from our orange.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to zest our orange first before we cut it. Makes it much easier.
Now you got a fancy gadget there.
I do. This is a microplane, but you can use a regular zester as well. Okay. So let's bring this over here. So it's important when you zest that you don't go down to the pith, which is the white part of the orange.
Yep.
You just want the top layer. So you still want to see that nice orange color.
All right. And that applies to anything that you're doing as zesting, whether it's a lime or a lemon or anything like that?
That's right.
Same idea?
Yeah. You don't want that bitter taste. And the nice thing about adding the zest into this mixture is it's going to add a really nice, strong orange flavor.
Yeah.
And the orange, the cinnamon, and the apple is just a really nice harvest.
Yeah, it's perfect for the holidays. Perfect feed. So are you going to use all of this zest?
I'm going to use all of this zest, but I'm only going to put half into our cake mixture.
Okay.
And then we're going to make a simple icing, and we're going to add that into the icing.
Oh, nice. So you're going to get a nice orange flavor all the way through, and then a little on top.
That's right. Okay. So we're just going to divide it.
Yep.
Throw that in the mixer.
Now we need some orange juice.
Now we need some orange juice. So we're going to use about 1/2 cup, which works out to about 1/2 orange.
So now one thing I saw you earlier is you were taking that orange and you were rolling it.
I was rolling it just to soften it up, and it makes it a little bit easier when you're squeezing it in your hands so that it's not as hard.
Okay. So you can get the most juice out of it when you give it a little roll. Perfect.
It also brings more of the oils to the skin.
Yep.
So when we're using the zest, we have more of the oils. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to incorporate those, and then
We're going to layer it in our dish.
layer it in our dish.
So after you've incorporated your orange zest and your orange juice, or your orange squeezed, depending what you prefer.
Now what if you don't get a full 1/2 cup out of your orange?
If you're not sure on the size of the orange and how much juice is going to come out of it, then I recommend squeezing the orange first into a 1/2 cup and make sure you get a 1/2 cup. If you don't quite get, you can always use orange juice, or if you needed to top up with a little bit of water, you could do that as well. Okay? So our mixture's good. So you're just mixing until everything comes together. Okay, and we have a nice batter.
Yeah, it looks great.
Very smooth.
And I can see that orange zest in there, which is
And you can smell it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do a layer of the batter and
Okay.
then a layer of the apples.
All right. So, how much is a layer?
Well, you're going to do 2
We're going to
layers.
do 2 layers, so we want to go.
take about half.
So we got this is nice. Now, once we get it in the oven, we just bake it at, you know, regular 350?
Yeah,
or?
we bake it at 350, and this is actually a long bake just because of the amount of fruit that's in it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So we're going to bake it for an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and 20.
And I should try and spread this out a little bit,
Try to spread it out just to cover the bottom.
It's kind of a sticky little guy.
But it's very good. Okay.
So we're all the way to the corners.
Yeah, so now you're going to do a layer of apples.
And do we want to make it a nice even layer?
We want a nice thin even layer.
Okay, so we got to, this reminds me of the
Turnip casserole.
the turnip casserole. Okay, so, and then another layer.
Another layer of batter.
Now this one is going to get, just spread that around as we go.
You betcha. Just grab you a tool that might work a little bit better for you. Here you go.
Well, this is working pretty good just by going like that. So we got the second layer of batter. Now we need our last layer of apples.
And you're looking at this and it's not even half full right now, and you're thinking this pan is pretty big. This cake finishes up about 3 inches. So
Wow.
you want to make sure that you're starting off with a pan that is at least 2 inches high.
Great. So a lot of 8x8, like regular baking pans, might not be high enough?
There are some that are only an inch high, so you definitely want to make sure that you have a 2
You want
inch
a
high.
deep pan.
You want a deep pan, yeah.
Okay.
The other thing that you can do with this recipe is you can make individual,
Yeah, that'd be great.
and then you could do individual portions, or if there's only one of you, you can make smaller portions and pull them out of the freezer.
Oh, you can freeze them.
Freeze as well. So now that we've finished our apple harvest coffee cake, we're going to grab those buns. I can smell them. They're ready to come out, and it has been 20 minutes.
All right.
Oh, they look great.
Wow. I can't wait to try one of those. So we're gonna let those settle down for just 2 seconds, and I'm gonna put this in the oven.
You betcha.
And how long does this have to go in for?
So we're going to put it in for an hour
Okay.
at 350 degrees.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about you, Lori, but I can't let these go without a little sample. Are they gonna be hot?
They're going to be really hot.
They are hot, but look at this. Look at this bun. Look at that steam, and look at that cell structure. That is nice and moist and
Very fluffy bun.
yeah, very fluffy. You can't beat that. I mean, that is awesome.
Now we're going to have to make some more.
Well, that's okay. But I'm gonna warm mine up for dinner.
So now that we have that done, we're going to make the drizzle for our apple harvest coffee cake.
Make it in advance.
Make it
obviously.
in advance, store it in the fridge so it's ready to go, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Good.
Okay. So we're going to use 1 1/3 cup of icing sugar.
Sometimes called powdered sugar, I
Right.
think, as well, right?
Okay. We're going to use 1 teaspoon of cinnamon.
Yep.
And we're going to take that orange zest that we kept from our orange earlier,
Yep.
and we're going to throw it in for a little bit extra. And just to have that orange flavor come all the way through.
Right.
Okay. And the other thing that we're going to do is 2 tablespoons of water.
Okay. That looks pretty simple.
Very simple. And this is a basic drizzle that you can use for almost anything.
Okay.
Okay. And you can add whatever flavor you want to add to it. And all you're going to do is you're just going to mix it until it's incorporated. So we have our 2 tablespoons of water,
Yeah.
and we're just going to mix it until it combines.
This isn't like a true icing. It's,
No, it's
like
just a drizzle.
Right. So
And
it's
if you
gonna-
don't want to use this, we have that caramel
Oh, yes.
sauce that we made, which would work wonderful on it.
Or you might be able to do a little of each.
That would be good too. Okay, so once it's mixed, all we're going to do is put it in a container and put it in the fridge.
Perfect. Sounds great. And then once the coffee cake comes out,
We're not going to put the drizzle on until the coffee cake is cold.